quick test of the captions. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for yet another LoreLink stream. Once again, today we're going to be going through Quest for the Frozen Flame for Pathfinder. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and start up LoreLink. Just a quick note on the stream. For some reason, my captioner is not working on Twitch, so I do deeply apologize for that. If you check out our stream on YouTube, YouTube does have closed captions coming through okay, which also means that our final video, or the video of the stream after the fact, will also have captions. So I do apologize for no captions on Twitch today, and we will try to get that fixed for the next stream. Not entirely sure what's happening there. I've not had a problem with that before. All right. Let's get into LoreLink. All right, so quick recap. Last time we were here, we were working on planning the next session, session 23. In session 22, which is completed, as you can see here, the players went into the tower and completely destroyed the tower, took on the Ashen Swale, and took care of some business. Their plan was to then burn the tower to the ground and escape. because they're fully aware that the white dragon Venexus keeps a close eye on the valley and could sweep in at any time, especially if they notice a big old tower of smoke in the middle of the valley, especially in the proximity of the tower. That is likely to draw some eyes. So they have made some plans to get scarce very, very quickly to try to prevent that from happening, at least while they're still sticking around. That said, unfortunately, that session has not happened yet due to some unfortunate life events for me. We ended up having to cancel that session, so it is now planned for, I think it's this weekend actually. So, but we've already planned that. So what I'm going to do today is actually take a look through the rest of this chapter in the book. So we are planning, of course, Quest for the Frozen Flame from Paizo Pathfinder, and we are right in the middle of Book 2, which is Lost Mammoth Valley. We are probably 2 sessions away from wrapping up Chapter 2, so Session 23 is the first part of that, and then the session after that will likely conclude Chapter 2, so we're going to start doing a little bit of work to make sure that we've gotten to that point. So as a review, here is, I'm going to come into view mode so we can see the full map. Here is our map with all of the pins dropped on for the different locations. These are the different locations that are already in Lorelink and ready to go. The ones without pins are not quite ready yet. So I'm going to switch views now once again and share with you my entire desktop so that you can see the actual PDF that I'm using to do the planning. So we are here in Chapter 2, Blue Sky, Green Earth, and this is what we're working on. So I'm going to drop down here to page 18, and we're going to go through the locations. We have factions in the valley. We've got information about those. The valley events. Event 1 opening Gambit. At the end of Erodus, the Burning Mammoths dispatch advanced scouts through the partially cleared pass. So we're going to run into those a little bit. Let's see, by mid-Erodus, a group of frost giants leave Vivarsa's army and circle around the valley. And then Event 3, Warbands. By mid-Rova, the pursuing Burning Mammoths have cleared the pass, claimed Calamity Caves, and entered Lost Mammoth Valley. So our party has come through, with their following, has come through the pass. They have cleared out Calamity Caves and are in Lost Mammoth Valley. They're about to relocate. So right now, their following is up here at Vera's homestead. They're in the process, next session, of moving down here to the Deserter encampment. And while that may not feel like it's a huge move forward, only like 1 hex forward, it does get the following more towards an easy egress. Also, all the areas through here have been cleared. There's an old caravan route through here and everything. More than likely, they're going to end up trying to follow the edge of the woods so that they can duck in if they need to, because they are aware that Venexus is watching. Or potentially they'll try to take out Venexus before they move the following forward, but we're going to get to that point. That's kind of what we're working on right now. So let's take a look at our timelines. I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab with the timelines. Blue Sky, Green Earth. That is the current book. All right. So where are we? So, oh man, I'm going to need to fix that. So we are at, let's zoom in a little bit to where we can see these numbers. Oh, no, the numbers aren't fixing themselves. Oh no. All right, we're going to report that. But in the meanwhile, there's our different, there's Erastus, July. So we are in our session. We actually have our time. So let's look at our sessions really quickly. We took on the tower. I've been making notes and our wrap-up notes here. That is their plan. plus 4 days, 22 Aerotus. Okay. And so just to double check, add days. Oh, so we started this session. So we started session 22 at 22 Aerotus. And we add 9 days. So let's make sure that we've got our dates correct. 22 plus 9. I don't have a note yet. Go ahead and edit this. We're going to be in August. We're going to be in Aerotus now. I'd forgotten about that feature, so let's do a little bit of a cleanup. Hey, that helped a lot. So we're going to have these grouped based on the interval they're in. Okay, let's go back into my timelines now. So Pathfinder calendar. Yeah, let's go into here. There we go. Yeah, it basically reflects our calendars just fine. So 31 days in Erastus, so 22 plus 9 is actually 31. So that gets us right to the very end of Erastus. So that means that this session 23 starts on 31 Erastus. Cool. That means that I can come back to my previous sessions and go to session 22. We've got the associated sessions. Okay, we can drop events on as well if we really need to. I'm not going to that level right now. I'm just kind of keeping track of the intervals and what happens. So we're going to keep track of which things happen when. I don't know if I can have multiple sessions per interval though. So let's check that really quickly. So I might be doing this wrong. Go to 21 because 21 also happened entirely in Erastus. Yep. It's only showing the earliest session in the interval. It can only be associated with one session. Okay, got it. Alright, that's not going to help me then. Don't want to do that. We're going to not do that. It was a nice theory, but I don't actually what I want to do is have each month be an interval. I don't want the sessions associated with an interval. I technically want the sessions dropped as a point in time. Or what I can do actually, which would be even better, so that I've got intervals for the months, what I can do, let's do this correctly. So session, I'm going to go, not session 23, because I don't know, session 22. For example, session 22 starts 22 Aerotus and goes to 31 Aerotus. So I can come in here and say, give me an interval. Let's look at Aerotus. So, no, not Aerotus, Erastus. So 60 plus going to 84, and then plus 9. So 84 to 94. Can that be right? 63. Yeah. Yeah. Mathing is hard. I'm not convinced I did all these maths correctly. 1 through 31. Okay, because it's the start of our calendar. 32 through 62. Ah, there it is. Yeah, that's plus 30. Okay. Then 63 to 94. No, I didn't do that right. So that's 31 days. But that's also 31 days. June doesn't have 31 days. There's my problem. There we go. 61. Okay. Then we start at 62. 61 plus 31 is 92. Okay. 92 plus 1 is 93. But 92 plus August is 31 as well, right? Yeah, so 92 plus 31, it's 123. Okay. Okay, and then Rova, 123 becomes 124. And 123 plus 30 is 153. Yeah, I was adding one like every single month. And so that ends on 153, so this is going to be 154. October's 31 days, so we're going to do that. There. Now that I've got the timelines fixed, this should be a little bit easier. So the 22nd of Erastus, 62 plus 22 minus 1, because 62 is actually at the first, not the 0. It's 83, so it's 83 to 92. That's 9. That makes sense. And this is, we're going to look at my sessions. This is session 22. I just call that take on the tower. And then we're going to associate this with session 22. That's how we're going to handle that. Okay, now that's the session and that's the month. Cool. So I can do that for other sessions. So let's go to session 21. I should have plus 7 days ends us on the 22nd of Arotus. So 15 to 22. So 76 to 83. This is session 21. And this is all right, because they overlap exactly, it's interesting, it causes an interesting conundrum there, but it's fine. Clear the worms, take on the tower. Let's go to session 20. There we go. Look at this one. So we ended on the 22nd. How many days did we go up? We ended on the 15th, right? So -8. Okay. So -8. So we did 68 to 76. And that is session 20. That is, in fact, session 20. Exploring the mountains, boom. Okay, so now I have exploring the mountains. I've got clear the worms. I've got take on the tower. It's all happening within Erastus. So now where I'm able to start putting visuals together and when things are happening on the timeline, I'm going to go back and do just one more. The sessions, we're going to go back to session 19. Okay. Oh, I didn't take the notes here. That's right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up. I've been slowly working on moving all of my notes into Lorelink because, as I mentioned earlier, I started this campaign before Lorelink existed. And so, working slowly on getting everything into it. Close from the Frozen Flame session notes. There we go. So this is what I used to have for session notes. I'll just go ahead and show it. It's just a Google Doc. But the problem is this is kind of annoying. Like I've got to scroll and scroll and scroll because there's pages and pages and pages of stuff. I've got 16 pages just of session notes. And so it's great information, but it's not my favorite way to get through. Oh, I didn't even make session notes for that. That's what I did wrong. So that's only in my GM notes. I'm not going to share my GM notes with you, but they look even worse than the session notes, if you can believe it, because I haven't cleaned them up for the players. So session 19, I went forward 8 days, ending on the 7th of Erodus. So subtract another 8, so it's 60 to 68. Add an interval. This is session 19. Session 19 was saving the Dryad. Beautiful. There we go. You see it starting to overlap, which is great. And the farther we go back in time, the more we've got. So we can go back just 3 more days, session, let's do an interval. So 57 to 60 for session 18. I did not create a summary for that, so what is the name? Some reports. Explore the Hex, defeated the Hyenodons, found a cold spot waypoint, defeated Kalthgars, B29. Let's do a quick view of what is B29. If I remember correctly, it is nope. There's the corpse. Oh, the corpse field. So they did exploration here. They up to here. Exploring around the mountain. I was searching for exploring around the mountain. Okay, we'll call it exploring around the mountain. Okay, and so this now we can see that there's a difference in how long in days some of the sessions are, right? Because they start getting a little bit more interesting. A lot of them end up being roughly a week. This one was just 3 days. Stuff happens. There were a lot that happened during that short period of time. So this is an interesting way of kind of piecing things together for us. That said, let's go ahead and move along. I had these 3 events, like the opening gambit and everything, so I could, like at the end of Aerodus, the Burning Mammoth dispatched advanced scouts. So we're just now starting Aerodus. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create an event. This doesn't have to be a specific time, but let's go ahead and create these as events. Event associated with index, okay, what is Aerodus starts? 93 and ends in 123, so let's call it 123. I don't have an event. Can I create a new event? Yeah, let's create a new event. Call this the opening gambit. We're going to say Burning Mammoth dispatch advanced scouts. And that's going to be good enough for now. Call it 123, associate event. And so now it's a little pebble in a fairly long timeline, but it is there. Hey. I just have a really long timeline. Let's see here. Then we're going to create another, and so another thing, interestingly enough, let's pull up the campaign page because this is an interesting view of the timeline. Let's edit. Here we're going to go into timeline. We're going to say, oh, it's only showing the events though. It's not showing the intervals on the timeline. Okay, that's fine. It's going to show the opening gambit at 123. I should showcase where some of the other events are happening. What I'm going to do is actually see if I can do this on the timeline. I'm going to create an event called Now. Actually, I'm going to have to create a new event. It's just the current time marker. It doesn't do anything else for me than that. And the index is going to be where we are at this point. So based on the latest thing that I did, take on the tower ends at 93 or 92. We're currently at index 92. Boom. That's where we are on the timeline. Why that's important is that if I come back to the campaign page and I'm going to click the view, we see now is there, and so this is scaled. The timeline is scaled. There's 92, there's 123. That's why it's so long. But because there's intervals that aren't showing up, it's only the event. So that's now. That's event 1, the opening gambit. I may need to start adding some of the encounters on there just because it'll make a little bit more sense visually to see that information there. Let's go ahead and add event 2, splitting forces by mid-Aerodus. Let's just add 15 to the other one. So 123 plus 15. I cannot be bothered to do math today. I'm sorry. I'm going to create a new event. This is is that. Frost giants circle around the valley. And save. At 138. Save. There we go. Perfect. Boom. And just because this is interesting, now we're going to see that we have opening gambit, splitting forces. And we're going to create a new item for event 3, the warbands. Okay. Begins marching. Progress slow than 100 until after the party defeats the nexus and leaves the valley behind. By mid-Rova. Okay. So let's look at this. Nope, that's not Masham. Too far. Too far. Yep. Oops. I did this in the wrong. Okay. 93 plus 15. It's 108. Let's do that correctly. I did something wrong. By the end of a road. What? These are out of order. Event 1, at the end of Aerodus. Event 2, by mid-Aerodus. Okay. How is that event 2? What? I don't think that's intended to be at the end of Aerodus. $2D 4 days? No chance I can move that fast. All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb and we're going to fix a problem because I think splitting forces is genuinely supposed to be at 108. But that means that we look at Erastus ends at 92. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 93 is when this happens because they're going to happen in order. They're very clearly intended to happen in order. So that's the opening gambit, splitting forces. That would put the warbands at mid-Rova. Mid-Rova is going to be a 124 plus 15. Yeah, there we go. Event. Okay. Save all of that. Okay, the warbands. What did I say? That's going to be Rova plus 15, so 124. Call that 139. Boom. That's when that's going to happen. Okay. Now, when I come in here, quite a big difference between how these are progressing. We're right there. We're about to have the opening gambit. Then we're going to do the splitting forces. So one of the things that we read here in the opening gambit is that if the advanced unit doesn't find the following near Calamity Cave, and they are not there, they will track the party, encountering them in 2d 4 days. That is vaguely realistic because they will be traveling light, and our party is intentionally going to retrieve the following. And so what we're going to say is that they're going to get discovered probably either right before or right after moving the following. Because let's go to the map really quickly. Let's plan this out. So I'm going to decide in advance rather than figuring it out on the fly, because that's part of the point of doing prep, right? Now that I know more about where the players are, what they're planning on doing, I can do that more easily. So let's go into here. We're in view mode so I can see the map more easily. They are currently here. Nope. Nope. There we go. They're at the Ashen Tower. They're going to move up to the forest. They're going to travel through the forest. And then they're going to go through the hills and up here to Ver's homestead. They've taken this path before. The scouts are going to come down here, move across here, and I think we're going to run into them right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and plan that as an encounter. Okay. Yep, let's edit. Going to create a location. We're going to encounter the advanced scouts. That's going to be a location, pin, and an associated event. It's going to put it into. Technically, I could have created locations for each of these hexes, and that might have made my life a little bit easier. Then I wouldn't have to do this, but I want as the entire valley. Lost Mammoth Valley, that's who the parent is. Find this, and then there you go. So one of the updates that we are working on right now is, you see the how we're adding locations and looking things up. We're working on making that UI a lot better. Turns out it works great for small campaigns, but as soon as you get to campaigns this size, it's not as user-friendly as it could be, so we're working on a fix for that. So I'm not going to promise any timelines, but that is definitely something that is on our dev radar. So there we go. There's the advanced scouts. So now I'm going to go ahead and create an event for that. And counter the advanced scouts. We're going to now how many? Oh, there it is. So, Burnham Raiders trackers. Okay. I'm going to save this. I'm going to copy all this stuff. Oops. That's not ideal. I'll just type it. It's faster. Okay, we're going to do one other thing while we're in here. We're going to go to Archives of Nethys. Burning Mammoth. Oh, they're bandits and trackers. Got it. Going to bandits there. Mammoth, these are archers, and they are any archer sentries. What did I say? Oh, no, I'm reading the wrong thing. Trackers, these are any trackers. Creature 3. Stealth or survival. Here we're going to do this. And I'm going to do one more. Mage. Just works better if I do this, I think. It's not X, that's 2. Hold those, and this is going to be Mage for hire. There we go. And the initiative is 7. Now we're going to save this. All right. There, counterman scouts. And we're going to give that a trigger. It's going to be triggered by that location. There we go. And we're also going to go ahead and associate it with event 1 because it is related to that event. They happen together. Now, do I have any of these? Burning Mammoths, Raiders, Trackers, or Mage? No, I don't seem to have them in here. Okay, it's fine for now. Because I've got them listed here, how many of each one thing we've got. We've got the location, associated with the location, we're associated with the triggers. So now these things are associated. Now, though, I'm going to put this on a timeline. So I have made the decision of where it's going to happen. Let's look at the map again. So it's going to happen here. Now when? So it says 2d4 days. I'll keep it in that time range. They're going to spend a day running across there, maybe half a day. They're going to be hauling, so like 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. That's about the same distance, so that should work well. So it's going to be 4 days. So from now, go back to our current time. Now is 92, so it's going to happen at 96 is the index, time index. So we're going to associate an event, counter advanced scouts at 96. Oops. There we go. So now I see that that's happening there. And when I come back to here, we're starting to see things fill in the timeline on the campaign page, right? So this is now opening Gambit, encountering the advanced scouts. Cool. So that tells me when that's going to occur. I now know when it's going to occur. I know when in relation to now. I know where it's going to occur on the map, and I can walk the players into that because I know that's what's going to happen. I know who's going to be there, and all that stuff has been prepped. Cool. The Frost Giants aren't really doing anything, so I don't need anything more than just that there. The War Bands is not happening for a while, so I don't really need to do the prep on that. They're going to be, so much is going to happen between now and then that I'm not going to try to figure that out just yet. I am, however, going to copy this and go ahead and edit that event really quickly. 3 warbands, and I'm going to add that in here. The advanced scouts are so screwed. Yeah, you're totally correct. Like, there is no world in which that's going to happen any other way, but that's fine. You're already, I think, beyond the point of those. Anyway. But you got to keep the game moving, right? Right? Yeah, we'll go with that. And to be blunt, I think I may shot across the bow enough. Yeah, I might make them just a little scarier just because, yeah, they're here. On the other hand, some of the players, I think, will get a little bit nervous at the concept of, hey, they're actually in the valley. Oh no. And that's really mostly what the intent is to add that kind of time pressure a little bit, but it should be scary enough that the players should not feel like, why do I care? Let them come, we'll just kill them all. But okay, just saving that there so we have it. There's another little thing before I continue onward. So there's those 3 events as part of this section. So this is all part of underneath chapter 2, technically. There's also a little note on waymarkers. So let's do a thing. I don't think I've done this yet. Sure enough, I have not. We've got vantage points, we've got visions. Let's add waymarkers. And add the details about waymarkers here. Long before Venexis, Utaki, and the Mendevians settled in Lost Mammoth Valley, it was a migratory route walked by the original Burning Mammoths, the shared ancestors of both the party and Ivarsa. To make the journey easier, these nomads built way markers that pointed the way from Calamity Caves to the currently sealed valley exit. Time and the primordial flame have changed this valley since the way markers were erected, and the safest path of the past is no longer the safest. Today, each way marker is a 12-foot tall, 3-foot square pile of stones topped by a metal ring. A flat stone disc carved with constellations is set in the ground on the way marker's south side. When viewed from this disc at night, the pole star, Cynosure, is centered in the ring. The disc and waymarker enable the traveler to quickly determine north, regardless of skill time or weather. The fingers of a handprint painted onto the base of each waymarker points to the next waymarker, indicating the old migratory route. Each waymarker is a holy site to Desna. So that's cool information. I would very much like to hang on to that. So what we're going to do is come to each of these locations. That is a waymarker. I'm going to open each of these. I can control click, just basic browser navigation, right? That's one of the things I love about this. E28. Okay, next page. Waymarker. 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 Okay. So each of these waymarkers is going to get the waymarkers tag. There we go. Now, in the waymarker tag, I see, oh, that's associated locations. Hold on. Nope, that's a location. One more. Now I click on that. That gets me to edit tag waymarkers, and I see that it is associated with 8 different locations, and there they all are, right? Yeah, the holy site thing is fairly interesting. I'm not sure that it's come up, but there's also not really a great way to, oh, by the way, this is a holy site, without a player kind of asking the question a little bit. But yeah, action economy, sheer number. Yes, sheer numbers. There's a lot of them. They're way bigger following. Yeah, a cleric of Desna would have kind of figured that out right away. But again, like that, the reason I'm doing the tagging now is as a reminder, because I need a way to. This is the thing that I don't like about PDFs in general, is that this tip about the waymarkers is fantastic, and it's really easy to miss it when you're looking at waymarkers as you're going through the locations. None of them actually say, hey, go read the thing about waymarkers at the beginning of the chapter. You've got to note it and remember it. And that's something I'm not very good at. So if I do this skimming kind of thing as part of the prep in the first place. Okay, cool. Okay, I think I may be ready to just prep the rest of the things. So let's go ahead and skim ahead really quickly at where we are. We've gone through all of these. What is the last location? $36, $35, $37, $38. It's 38 is the last location we've done. That tells me how far through here I need to scroll. 38's a way marker, 39 is hunting. So 39, 40, 41, 42. Gotta get all the way to 50 through the end of the chapter. So, interesting. That's basically everything. '51, Venexus Shrine. The top of this model. Chapter 3 begins when the party enters Layuba, a Sataki village, situated at the base of Venex's glacial palace, areas C and D respectively. Let's go ahead and drop those on here. Let's see. Add a location of Layuba. Just go straight into the valley. Here, the easier way to do this is here. Layuba. I don't really have a read aloud for it. Save that for now, and then we'll come in here and pin Layuba. Go. The Glacial Palace. Those C and D. So those are kind of the ending conditions. So just peeking ahead really quickly so I understand how to wrap up Chapter 2. Chapter 3 begins when the party enters Layuba. This isn't a hard transition. The party might enter Layuba well before they're done with their tasks in Lost Mammoth Valley. They're also free to leave the village as often as they desire. Indeed, the Broken Tusk Scouts' time in Layuba is much more difficult if they haven't accrued sufficient reputation points. So, just to double check, I think I have, reputation. All of the opportunities for reputation should be tagged. I'm going to go through and double check that though as soon as we're done here. Well, as soon as we're done filling in all the locations, because those happen if locations or encounters. Additionally, the challenges in this part of the adventure are intended for 7th level characters. These encounters will be much more difficult for lower level parties. In Layuba, the party has 2 objectives: claim the primordial flame and escape Lost Mammoth Valley. Achieving these goals isn't easy as Venexus, Ashen Swale, and their cult stand against them. They'll need the help of as many Sutaki as possible. Cool, and I'm going to have to download some of the images and stuff out of here because that'll make life easier. I want to really detail this out. So that'll be later. It's about 20 minutes, so this is a good place to stop Chapter 2 planning for now. So let's just go ahead and create the rest of these locations. So starting at 39, and working our way forward, and let's come in here. Edit mode, 39. There we go. E39. Hunt the hunting grounds. We're gonna have to do a little bit of work on this one. So, save. We're gonna tag this because it's clearly a reputation winner. And let's read through this. So, when the characters arrive, the attacking hunters welcome them. They're about to undertake a communal hunt. If the party joins, each character must contribute to each phase of the hunt, attempting one associated skill check. If failed, a character who succeeds at 3 or more hunting phases is beneficial to the hunt. The hunting phases are tracking, talking to the herd, preparing an ambush, chasing the herd, butchering the carcasses, preparing a feast, and entertaining the hunters. Oh, so, okay, hold on. If the party joins, each character must contribute to each phase of the hunt. You're all helping. Is that really talking the herd? Interesting. Stalking. There it is. Like, that doesn't make any sense. There, much better. Tracking and stalking the herd. And those are the same thing. Stealth or survival. Preparing an ambush, crafting or stealth. So stealth is good. They don't have, man, some of the characters will be better at these than others, but that's fine. After the celebratory feast, the hunters bemoan the current state of the valley until they guess their troubles. Labor is flooded, their lands are swamps, the stench of death keeps prey away. Hunters blame the demon. Magic lamp. Oh, that's cool. Party gains 1 reputation point for each character who is beneficial to the hunt. If they help the hunters carry them back to Laiba, they gain an additional 2 reputation points. Okay. So what we're going to do is take this and create an event. Sutaki Hunt. And we're going to associate that now with, nope. Save this, come in here. We don't need to do that. There's Sutaki Hunt. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to associate this just with the location. This is B39. Trigger. Now these are located associated with the other. The reason for doing this is now I have an event. I can drop an event onto the timeline, which will allow me to show when the hunt took place. I think that could potentially be useful. it's hard to know sometimes the best way to break things down for tracking purposes, but I definitely think that I might need to be able to do that, which also means that this is going to get a reputation flag. But I need to know when this happened, I think. So that's going to be part of my rationale for how I break things down. So that gets B39 hunting grounds created. There's a little bit more to that than I had anticipated, but that's fine. Going to B40. Burning Mammoth Camp. Did not mean to scroll that. Okay. Burning Mammoths currently hold 15 stuck captives. We have a white dragon in a central cage. Oh, this dragon is Venexus' brother. Nice. Alright, we're gonna have to change this up a little bit. Okay. So we got Reputation, Treasure, and Aftermath. If freed. What if he's not freed? Interesting. What if we don't free him? I mean, he's a young white dragon. We could probably take him. Okay. I'm going to save this. This is B40. Open this up now and go ahead and create an event for this. An event. We're going to mark as a trigger our location. Okay, and then we're going to update the description, ruffians. Tiefling adept. There we go. Tesla, we've got Fezrod. Future 6, oh, that'll be fun. So the white dragon is tough. No white dragon. Then Rykar. Okay, and that is gang leader. Okay, cool. So now the location, Burning Mammoth Camp, is associated with the event, so I can track the event. Pretty significant. They also both have reputation associated, so let's mark them as having reputation. No, not what I want to do. Let's just move off to the side. So we're continuing to add events and locations in the reputation, so that's good. Let's go ahead and add 39. That'd be 40. Okay. B41 Ominous Clearing. Could possibly be ominous about it. It's a bummer that we're gonna, do that in September instead of around Halloween, right? Creepy. It's another reputation opportunity. Dillahan. Okay. and reputation. So we're going to save that. E41, tag you with reputation. All right, cool. B42. Oh, actually, then I can come here. I can go B41. Save that all in there. Just 10 more locations to go. I'm low on time, so I'll probably just do one more. Then do B42. Sheltered homestead is hidden. Sheltered homestead is sheltered. What a concept. Home of Danon, Wonoak's widow. Find Danon outside. Okay. And B43. Let's go ahead and do B43. Game trail. Creatures. If the scouts haven't encountered her yet. Randomly decided to start scrolling on me there. You see that? Okay. Go one whack. So now this is interesting. So I'm going to save this. I really need that. Okay, so let's fix a couple things. So first 42. B42. Then we're going to go B43. Trail. Now, I'm going to open these up and go to B42 and B43, B41, sorry, B41 and B43. And we're going to come here and create an event. Wonoak. Counter Wonoak. There's that, and then we're going to come into the description of 41. Move all this over to the there. Save. Now, Wonoak needs to have a couple different triggers, a 41 and 43 it looks like. there's the two places right now that you can run into Roanoke. So that's good to lots of updates. So we've updated 41 to remove, now it just says, and enter a clearing. And now it's associated with the event. So the event has all the details of the encounter, which is fine. I don't need to say much more about that. 43. Yep. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Make that note. If this guy's haven't encountered her yet. Save. Alright, cool. Now that's been corrected. And so that's one of the things that I like about Lorelink versus like the PDF. Again, I can move the information to a place that I can cross-reference it from multiple sources, right? So now I have the event of the encounter, and it can be tied to multiple different locations, right? And that just makes my life so much easier. So there we go. I'll start with 50 or 44 next time, I believe, if all of these are taken into consideration. So that's all done. We've been keeping up with the reputation. Reputation is tied to there. So reputation is associated with this encounter, which means that it could also theoretically start at 41 or 43. So both of these are going to get reputation tags. They don't necessarily give reputation, but they certainly could. So it allows me to keep track of that. So I didn't plan session 24 yet. All I've really done is prep some things leading up to that point. So if we go back into the top level campaign in view mode, now we see again that timeline is to scale. So here's where we are now, and then this is what's going on in events. We're going to have the opening gambit. We're going to encounter the advanced scouts soon. We're going to do the splitting of the forces and the warbands. So more than likely, that actually does mean one little thing that I want to do. More than likely, we're going to run into some additional events here. So let's add a couple events. We're going to run into the event of, hey, Tales of Initiative, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We are currently wrapping up a stream about Pathfinder. I'm really excited about this. So this is a, I think, multi-year, what are we? We're over a year into this campaign. I don't know, I think we're pushing 2 years into this campaign now. In fact, we have to be. So this is a Pathfinder campaign, Quest of the Frozen Flame as part of their adventure path. We're just in the middle of planning session 23, and yeah, that represents over 2 years of real playtime because we have been doing roughly 1 session per month. That's what my gaming group is able to do. You know, as you all know, scheduling is hard, so that is how it goes. Thank you so much again for rating. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. We are Lorelink. You probably already know because you came in from Tales, but we are Lorelink. We are building campaign management software for game masters, regardless of the system that you use. Our goal is to make it easier than ever for you to do your session planning, to run your games at the table, and help you with all of your TTRPG planning as a game master. So we do streams at least weekly. Most of our streams are showing off how to do session planning inside of Lorelink. We do showcase a number of different types of systems. So if you go to lorelink.com and go to our examples page, you'll see a large number of different TTRPG systems that we have actually put into Lorelink. We've done all of these on stream so that you can see how to do it and understand how to work with it. There are videos up for all of these different systems. That's what a lot of our streamings are. We do have a stream coming up this month that is going to be an actual play session where you're going to have a number of Lorelink team members actually playing a game for your enjoyment and using Lorelink to keep things running smoothly. And every once in a while, we also play some TTRPG adjacent video games, talking about TTRPGs in general and everything like that. If that sounds interesting to you, please do give us a follow. Feel free to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for being here with us. All right. So I have just kind of finished up planning session 23. That's our upcoming session. We have this location the players are currently in. Let's go to view mode. They are exploring Lost Mammoth Valley. So what we've been doing, all of these dots on the map represent a specific location that's been set up in Lorelink with all of the associated encounters and events. So we've mapped out most of this valley in Lorelink. I have just a handful of locations yet to go that I'll need to finish moving. The source material is here in this Paizo PDF, so I'm kind of copying and pasting and moving things into Lorelink to make it so much easier for me to manage things at the table. Couple things specifically that we've been looking at just to share with you because I think it's interesting. We're tagging some of the locations and events in a way that makes sense for things I need to track. So for example, there are way markers that are specific locations across the map where the party may show up and find navigation across the map using these way markers. So every location that represents a way marker gets tagged, and then I can see the list of way markers here because I've tagged them. They all show up together, and I can go to any one that I would like to see. The other thing I'm using tags for example, is reputation. There are some encounters or locations or events that can build the reputation of the party within the region. And in order to be able to more easily keep track of that as a game master, I am tagging all of those locations and events with the reputation tag to make it easier for me to go back later and figure out where are we in terms of the player's reputation, make sure I track all of that. So the next session, session 23, is right here. We are we're starting on 31st of Erasmus, so I am keeping track of things in terms of chronology and timeline and calendars. I was just about to add a couple events that I know are going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those in here. We've got event 1, Opening Gambit. And then related to Opening Gambit, I'll pop that open. Opening Gambit is also associated with... All right, yeah, so that's the Opening Gambit. Then, scroll back through the PDF really quickly as I look for that information. And this is why I like having things in Lorelink. It makes my life easier. And we're going to find this other event that I need to pull in here. All right, so there it is. So event 1, Opening Gambit, and I can here actually, perfect. Let's look at the timelines. So in our timeline for this book, so the first book timeline, second book timeline down here, Blue Sky Green Earth is the second book. That's where we're currently working through. I've got some associated events. So Encounter Advanced Scouts, that's the event that I want associated with the upcoming session. Encounter Advanced Scouts, boom, got it. So those are encounters that I expect is going to happen. This is the plan. Here's the locations that I know they're going to be hitting. I'm going to go ahead and associate also the location for Encounter the Advanced Scouts, because I did drop a location on the map for that. So they're already at the Ashen Tower, which is why I have it already marked as completed. That's where they're going to be starting the adventure. And that's the stuff places they're going to go, things they're going to do. I've got some notes as to what they're planning on doing. I've got all this on the timeline. I go to the main campaign in view mode. We see a 2-scale timeline. This is the current time. Events that are coming, encounter of the advanced scouts, they're going to make it at least that far during the next session. In the future, there's some additional planned events that are going to occur, so I can keep track of all that. And with that, that really wraps up. I'm doing these planning streams once a month for Pathfinder. I don't always do them the same week of the month, but I do always try to start them at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Eastern, and go until 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the general time of these streams. Tomorrow night, Mark Delacroce is going to be here on Lorelink showcasing, doing some session planning work, and he's going to be on at 5 p.m. Eastern. So do come back tomorrow night, please, at 5 p.m. Would love to see you there. And as always, feel free to follow us here on Twitch. You can go to our website, lorelink.com. You can check out our system examples, or you can go ahead and subscribe to our monthly newsletter. You get once a month notification about what we're working on, what's happening with the Lorelink team. I'd love to talk to you there as well. With that, thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a great night, and we will talk to you all later.